Hi, guys. Welcome in. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Saturday thus far. It's a beautiful day today. The sun is out, the sun is shining. So, as you may be able to tell from the title of this video, I tried another book club. Last month, I shared my experience with attending my first book club. If you saw that video, then you know my experience wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. The discussion was a little chaotic. It was a lot off topic, and that was because most people had not actually read the book. When I left, I did leave feeling a little disappointed, but I wasn't ready to give up just yet. Went back on my local library website and found another book club. So this book club was called Pins and Needles. And what drew me to this book club was the fact that it is a craft-based book club, and it can be any craft. So of course, I took a cute little crochet project to work on. Again, I said I wasn't quite ready to give up. I wanted to give it another try, and I am glad that I did. This experience was completely different. So one of the biggest differences I will say with this book club is how organized the host was. She has a very specific format that she follows for her book club meetings, and I really appreciated that because it made everything run really smoothly. Of course, we started with introductions, and it was a decent turnout. I would say it was maybe 19, almost 20 people that showed up. Everyone went around the room, introduced themselves, and just gave what they rated the book. And how she kind of laid out the format of the meeting is she would alternate between a low rating and a high rating, and ask for like a volunteer that maybe rated it less than a 2-star, or someone that rated it a 4 or 5-star, to, if you want to, of course, everything is voluntary. If you want to share your thoughts and why you rated it that way. And I thought that was cool because, again, it allows everyone a chance to speak, to share their thoughts and opinions on the book, and it allows them to do it uninterrupted. And that was one thing that I really didn't care for the last book club that I went to. There was really no organization. The moderator made sure that everyone had space to speak. No one dominated the conversation. No one felt like if they were being talked over or even skipped over, because again, you had the opportunity, but if you chose not to share, you didn't have to share. Out of we'll just say 20 people, out of the 20 people there, only one person hadn't read the book. And funny enough, it was the lady that was in last month's book club, where the majority of the people in that book club didn't read the book. I don't understand it, but me personally, I don't see the point of attending book clubs if you're not reading the book. So this month's book was this lovely read, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. But I did start listening to it on audio, and that initially was very confusing for me because this book follows multiple timelines, and I was having trouble keeping up and following the timelines. I went back and just started to read the book, and I was able to follow it a lot better reading the physical book, because at the beginning of each chapter, it shows where they are in time. So I was able to follow it. So I ended up giving the book a 3 out of 5 stars. And I don't think a 3 is a bad rating by no means, but my rating is not at all necessarily about the quality of the book, because I did enjoy the writing. It was very easy to read. It's more so about my own personal preferences. I struggle a little bit with alternating timelines, kind of staying on track, following the story. And then when you're doing alternating timelines and you have multiple POVs, because this book had multiple POVs, one or two of which I questioned a little bit, like why do we have a POV from this character? And then why are we going into so much detail about this character's background or this character's past? Often, find myself getting pulled out of the story a little bit, trying to keep up with the different POVs and what timeline we're currently in. For me personally, it's just a little disorienting at times. But I did enjoy the book. I did hit a lull in the middle of the book, and I had to really force myself to kind of get over the hump the middle of the book to finish reading it. But once I got back into it, I did overall enjoy the ending of the story. Even though this book is not necessarily my favorite genre, I can absolutely see why so many people enjoy this book and enjoy, the story and enjoy the characters. So what I found just so enjoyable about this book club is hearing everyone's thoughts and hearing everyone's perspective. There were details and themes and different character explorations that I hadn't thought about. And even it was nice to hear the insight from the people that didn't really care for the book and why they didn't care for it. I was actually able to gain a greater appreciation for the book after listening to everyone else's feedback. Midway through, she paused and went around the room and asked what everyone was working on. And it was so cool to see. Of course, you had your knitters and you had people crocheting, but you also had people doing cross stitch and punch needle. There was an artist there where he was drawing and doodling. There was a lady that was hand sewing cat toys. There was someone there that was actually making like handmade jewelry. She was making a pair of earrings. So it was really cool and really interesting. I thoroughly enjoyed spending time with these people. It did remind me of why I wanted to join a book club in the first place. Not just to expand my horizons and read books that I may have never thought to pick up before, but to also hear how differently different people might experience the same story. My takeaway from this was, if you've had a not so great book club experience, don't write off book clubs altogether. Sometimes it takes a little bit of trial and error to find the one that's right for you. I'm not saying this one is the right fit for me, but I definitely enjoyed it. I will go back, and this has given me a little bit more encouragement to maybe try some other ones as well until I find my people. That's pretty much all I have to share today. If you've read God of the Woods, I would like to hear your thoughts and what you thought about it. If you joined a book club, what are you guys currently reading this month? Or if book clubs aren't for you, then that's cool too. But thank you so much for hanging out with me this lovely Saturday. You guys have a great one. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next video.